What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. Let's start with the NHL playoffs. We're going to backtrack for both the NHL and NBA playoffs to Friday this past week. That's the last time we did a show. Maple Leafs do win on Friday over the Florida Panthers on the road. 2-0, shutting them out. 22-save shutout for Joseph Woll, which forces a Game 7 on Saturday. Dallas Stars defeat the Winnipeg Jets 2-1 in overtime. Thomas Harley game-winning goal in overtime in that one. As the Dallas Stars win in 6 games, they advance to the Western Conference Finals. It will be Dallas and Edmonton for the second year in a row in the Western Conference Finals. Winnipeg Jets are nicked by the President's Trophy curse. Last President's Trophy winner to win a Stanley Cup, I think, was the Chicago Blackhawks in 2013. We haven't, a lot of them haven't even gotten out of the second round outside of the Rangers last year that went to the conference finals. So, and I don't think any of them have been out of the Cup finals since the Blackhawks won it all in 2013. So, the President's Trophy curse is real. Winnipeg loses in the second round. I will say, shout out to Mark Scheifele. Like, the night before their game, his father unexpectedly passed away. It was a very, very tragic situation. Not only did he play in the game, but he scores the first goal of the game. That was a really, really cool moment. You see a lot of the Stars players embrace him after the game. And a lot of Dallas Stars fans donated $55 to his charity because he is number 55. So very cool, class thing for Dallas Stars fans to do. Just a really incredible moment from Mark Scheifele. He's one of the league's best players, and really tough for him to have a tragic death in the family. So I send him my well wishes, but Dallas Stars do move on and advance to the Western Conference Final for the second straight season. And on Sunday, the Florida Panthers defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-1. They cruise out on the road. They win Game 7. Toronto loses another Game 7. Every year. They got out of the first round. They've been out of the first round for the second time in the last 3 years. However, 2 years ago, they got out of the first round, beating Tampa in 6 games in the first round. And then you get swept or lost in 5 to an 8 seed Florida Panthers team, though that team did go to the Cup final. Last year, you go down 3-1 to Boston in the first round. You force Game 7, and then you lose Game 7. You blow lead in Game 7. Then this year, you go up 3-0 on Ottawa in first round. You lose the next 2. You're going to hang on and win in 6. But then you lose in 7 to the Florida Panthers, blowing a 2-0 lead. Toronto. They are cursed. Dallas Cowboys of the NHL. They need to make some changes, okay? Their 2 goalies, Joseph Woll and Alex Stolarz, I don't think either of them are really championship caliber goalies. They got to get better defensively. I've been saying this for years. They're great offensively, but Austin Matthews, to me, one of the best goal scorers in the league. Great player. Former MVP for a reason, but he already has not been a great postseason performer. Mitch Marner is an incredible player. I don't know how they're going to be able to resign if they lose him. That's going to be a really tough loss. They should really trade either William Nylander or John Tavares. Tavares might be hard to trade. He makes $11 million a year. He's getting older. Nylander, though, is also a big deal, though. He is still in his prime, and he's a great player. I would probably move him. Maybe get back some help on the back end, get some salary relief, get some picks back, and kind of retool, because this core just has proven they are not. They just can't win. They are just not built to win, for whatever reason. You already blame the coach. You fired Sheldon Keefe after last year. I told you all that was a mistake. And you saw him take the New Jersey Devils to the playoffs this year. You brought in Craig Berube, who is a good coach. You won a Stanley Cup in 2019 with St. Louis. But and you already blame the coach. I mean, how Brendan Shanahan still has a job, I don't know. I mean, the GM they got rid of a couple of years ago, Kyle Dubas, and now he's the president of hockey operations in Pittsburgh. Brendan Shanahan, he's the main constant. The players have changed, the coaches have changed, how the GM under him has changed. Now it's Brad Trevelyan, who isn't very good. He's the same guy that, was in Calgary for all those years. I just don't understand why he has a job. I don't see this really getting fixed. Again, what they should do is probably trade William Nylander, get some help on the back end, like I said, some draft picks, maybe upgrade a net. But this is where goalies go die. Every time we think they have a good goalie flame out, whether it's Jack Campbell or Joseph Woll or Alex Stolarz, the Maple Leafs are cursed. They are cursed, they are cursed, and they are cursed. Now on to the NBA playoffs. On Friday, the New York Knicks defeated the Boston Celtics 119-81. It's a 30, I believe, 8-point win as the largest margin of victory in Knicks history in a playoff game. It's the largest margin of victory, margin of loss for a defending champion in NBA history. The Knicks did it, 23 for Brunson in the win. They dominate wire to wire. I told you all once they went up 2-0, they were going to do it. To all my Boston fans up here, screw you. Class tonight's going to be a lot of fun. Got my Brunson jersey. You probably can't see it because I'm sitting down, obviously. My matching Knicks shorts that goes with the Brunson jersey are on as well. So excited. The New York Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. I was not born the last time the Knicks went to the conference finals. So happy. And for all these fans online who were saying, oh, you're showing like you won a championship, even though you only won a second round series. Keep in mind, a lot of us people that are celebrating are people my age. We have never seen the New York Knicks in the conference finals. I am not exaggerating. You say, oh, this is your championship. In a way, it kind of is. Like, I get it's not, obviously, and they do have a shot to win a championship now. Obviously, you're in the conference finals. That's the way it works, obviously. But come on. Like, this has never happened before. Not once in my life. Remember, anybody, and even if you were born in 1997, when you're 3 years old, you're not going to remember the freaking conference finals, the conference semifinals of the NBA when you're 3 years old. So, anybody under the age of probably like 30, we're getting experiences. Even if you're 30, that would make you born, what, 1995? You were 5 when they last did it? You probably don't really remember that at all. So, anyone under the age of 30 has really never experienced the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, that is why you see all these crazy fans after the game. On top of that, it's New York, obviously. If this was obviously a much smaller city, doesn't matter which one, maybe it probably wouldn't be the same. Also, this isn't like Boston. Boston's used to this. The Celtics won a championship last year. They were City of Champions. New York, not so much. When it comes to the four major sports, the most recent championship was the New York Rangers. That was in 1994. That was 31 years ago. So, championships and even championship appearances don't come around. Like, the last championship appearance for a major four sports team in New York was the New York Mets when they lost in the World Series in 2015, 10 years ago. So that's why us New Yorkers go crazy. So let's have a moment, okay? And all these Boston fans online like, we were hurt. Can you shut up? Jason Tatum was healthy for the first 4 games, and they shot 4 games to 1. They won game 1. They won game 2. Boston takes game 3. Game 4, Tatum got hurt with 2 minutes left, and Knicks up by like 8 or 10. Okay, the game was over. Okay, so give me a break. You won game 5 of Adam, and then game 6 the Knicks take, okay? Saying like, all these other guys are battling for injuries. Porzingis was hurt. This guy had that. Made it to game 6 of the semi. Like, shut up. And also, Dave Portnoy, screw you, okay? When he went down 2-0, you were blasting Knicks fans. They win game 3, like, oh, Big Dog, 7-6. But then they go down 3-1, and you're like, oh, Series doesn't matter anymore. Oh, Tatum is hurt. And look, I said on the show, I feel horrible for Jason Tatum. He is a great player. Seems like a great guy. Seems like a great father. Classy in defeat. Classy in victory. I wish him a excellent and speedy recovery. I hope to see him on the basketball court sooner rather than later. I do believe he will make a full recovery and still be an elite player in this league for a very long time. He's still only 27 years old. I do still believe he's a very bright future in this league. But come on, just weak. Then they win game 5. He's back on his high horse, and then he loses game 6. He's like, oh, he does like the whole like sad, oh, congratulations. You haven't won in a while. Tatum would have won with Tatum. I'm like, dude, shut up. I love Barstool Sports. You're a great businessman, but holy hell, you are a nauseating piece of garbage when it comes to being a sports fan. You are the epitome of Boston sports fan, and why I despise Boston and their sports fan, okay? Screw you. Kiss my ass. Moving on. There was a game Sunday. Last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder easily handled the Denver Nuggets in Game 7. Why was that halfway through in the afternoon? I have no idea. 125-93, 35 points for Shai Alexander. Thunder move on to the Western Conference Finals. I don't remember the last time they were in the conference finals. That might have been when they had like Durant and Harden, which I don't know. They lost in the finals to Miami in 2011? or no, 2010, something like that. And then you have to. They didn't when they had Russ and Paul George. They didn't get to the conference finals. They have not gotten to the conference finals with this team. With Chris Paul, they lost in the first round, so that might have been the last time. So good for Oklahoma City. That's a great young team. Shea should be the MVP. Hopefully they announce that in the next couple of days. He should be the MVP. Lots to think about if you're the Denver Nuggets. What do you do in the offseason? You won a championship 2 years ago since then, back-to-back second-round playoff records. Of course, you fired Mike Malone right for the playoffs, your head coach, for some reason. So a lot to think about here, but the Denver Nuggets, and Sherrill, of course, mentioned them on my offseason preview series sooner rather than later. But when it comes to the conference finals in both sports, it starts tomorrow night in the NBA. Minnesota Timberwolves and Oklahoma City Thunder, 8:30 on ESPN. And then in the NHL, also on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on TNT, it'll be the Florida Panthers and Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference side of things. My picks for the conference finals in each sport of the NHL, I'm going to take the Florida Panthers in 6 games. Carolina, they're playing some good hockey. They're a very good team. It's only their second conference finals appearance since Robert Moore took over. And, they have a team. This is a team that's been there before. They've been through a lot this year with the stuff with Mikko Rantanen obviously not working out. Fred Anderson played really well. They're a good team. Over Florida, this is their third straight appearance in the Eastern Conference Finals. This team is really good. Very experienced. You got the goalie in Bobrovsky. It's basically the same team that won the Cup last year and has been to 3 straight conference finals. I think they go to the Cup for the 3rd year in a row. I got Florida in 6 games. On the Western Conference side, Dallas and Edmonton. This was a great series last year. I'm torn. Edmonton's a very good team. Their goaltending isn't great, though it's held up at least enough. They were in the Cup final, of course, last year. Had an incredible year. They've had even more crazy wins this year. I'm going to take Dallas in 7 now. I think this Dallas team is a little bit better. Obviously, you have Mikko Rantanen now. He has been electric in the postseason. That is a great team. I think they get it done this year. I think they finally get to the Cup final, and they beat the Edmonton Warriors in 7 again. That should be an incredible series. On the NBA side of things, in the Western Conference, I'm going to take the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm going to take them in 6 games. Minnesota's really good. Anthony Edwards is a dog. Julius Randle, told you he could do it. He's playing some good basketball. You got Gobert protecting the rim, Conley. Very good basketball team, but the Thunder, they are so deep. They are the best defensive team in the league to me. That team is really good. And I think they are a better basketball team. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder finish up with Timberwolves in 6 games in Western Conference Finals. Knicks, Pacers, I got Knicks going to the finals. I'm winning, but I think they beat the Pacers in 7. That should be a great series. For those of you wrestling fans, WWE showed the cards in the offseason with the Halliburton and the Brunson thing at the Garden. Just saying. But I have Knicks winning in 7. Pacers are really good. They're very deep, but I think the Knicks will... The Knicks, if they were held last year, I do believe would have won the series. Obviously, you'll never know. It is not an excuse. Pacers won, obviously. They're the better team in 7 games, but I truly do think now that they're healthy, I think they're have even more firepower. I think it's basically the same in the Indiana team. I think the Knicks will get it done. It will be a hard-fought 7-game series. Can people stop saying this is bad for the NBA? This was maybe the premier rivalry in the 90s and into the 2000s, right after Michael Jordan retired, with the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. So cut that out. It should be a great series. I got my Knicks at 7. But let's move on to some baseball. All right, let's do the MLB standings update. New York Yankees lead the American League East right now, 27-19. By the way, shout out to Ashton. He is in the control room right now. He just popped in. He just did a double thumbs down to the Yankees. Can't say I disagree. He's also a Red Sox fan, so not surprised he's booing the Yankees, and it's always boo the Yankees up. They are 27-19. His Red Sox right now, 23-25, playing up and down right now. They got some injuries in the rotation. Obviously, all the drama with Rafael Devers. However, he also just he had a walk-off home run and then a grand slam in the last 2 games, so doesn't seem to be affecting him, at least offensively. Obviously, have a hole at first base with Tristan Casas on the injured list. And Donovan Smith, you bet go in spring training. Toronto Blue Jays are 22-24. They're as mediocre as it gets. Just don't have enough offensive firepower. Tampa Bay is 21-25. Aren't playing horrible right now, but you think we all know this is a young team. It's kind of in a retooling phase. The Baltimore Orioles are 15-30. Have lost 6 in a row, and They fired Brandon Hyde. Their manager was fired yesterday, or 2 days ago. 2 days ago they fired their manager Brandon Hyde after they went just 15-28 to start the season. Hyde is out. He went 421 and 492 with the Baltimore Orioles. I think his first year, was 2019. So after 6 and about a quarter years, he's out. Look, overall, I thought Hyde did a pretty good job. He took over a team that was historically bad. He was there through all that horrible losing. He brought them back into contention, brought them back to the playoffs the last 2 years. However, back-to-back first-round playoff exits. Especially last year when we won 101 games. And this year, yes, they lose a couple of guys. You lose a top-level starting pitcher in Corbin Burns. You lose a 40-homer guy in Anthony Santander. But you still add some pieces. You still have a very good young core. Still have a good team. To be 15-28 is really just embarrassing. Not good enough. A division as loaded as it has been in past years is not the same this year. Yankees have been good, but haven't been, super late. They got injuries in the rotation. Their lineup's a little bit thin. And then, the rest of the division's been pretty mediocre. Boston hasn't started out great. Toronto's been mediocre as expected. Same thing with Tampa. And the fact that they are 5.5 games clear of a Tampa Bay Rays for last place in that division, the only team that's worse than them in the American League is the Chicago White Sox, who lost 121 games last year, the most ever by an MLB team ever. And I think the only other 2 teams besides the White Sox that are worse than them are Pittsburgh and the just dead-in-the-water Colorado Rockies. 2 maybe the worst organizations in baseball. It's embarrassing. Like, it's just not good enough with that roster. Okay, look, what was help? I don't know. They promoted the third base coach, Tony Mansolino. Don't know the second thing about him. But he's now the interim manager. This is clearly like, we're just, we're a little desperate. We're trying to kickstart things, give these guys a kick in the pants. Back in 2022, the Philadelphia Phillies started off really bad. We're struggling. They fired Joe Girardi, a World Series winning manager, in like May, when he had this really bad bullpen and that god-awful defense. People, really slammed it. Rob Thompson gets promoted to interim manager, and they ended up in the World Series, and Rob Thompson is still the manager, and to me, one of the league's best. So you never know what could happen. I think they're hoping something like that happens. It's still very early in the year. It's a long season. The Mets were 22-33 at the end of May last year. They ended up in the NLCS. The Detroit Tigers were 8 games under 500 in August. They ended up winning a playoff series last year. It's still a long season. However, they're definitely trying to kickstart things, because if not, they have a young core: Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westbrook, Adley Rutschman, that can go down the list, but their pitching's been really bad. Charlie Morton, he's 40 years old, but that guy needs to retire. He's been washed. Also, you lose Burns. Grayson Rodriguez, who's supposed to be their ace, hasn't even pitched this year. He's been hurt. Still have some guys out like Kyle Bradish. Tyler Wells is also hurt. So it's been a really tough start. I don't think the season's over. I thought Baltimore was still a playoff team. Obviously hasn't been that way so far. 15-30 is brutal with that roster. But this is definitely to try and kickstart things. Yeah, and that Ashton just obviously gave his input there. Look, I liked Brandon Hyde. I know they were complaining about some of his lineups that he was rolling out this year, which I get. If they had if they had a legit bench coach who's been in the league for a while, maybe been a manager before, I feel a little better. Their interim manager is their third base coach, Tony Mansolino. I've never heard of this dude. I've never heard of him once. I've never heard of him once in my life, so I don't know if he could be the greatest manager ever. He also could be. He might not know what a triple is, so I don't know. He could be the worst manager ever. That's the problem. Their ownership is very, very bad. The family's been fighting over the team since the father died for a few years. It's a messy situation. The ownership has not been good there in a while. And the shame, they have a really good young core, but they just won't spend any money around. So it really is a shame. And so if things, this is one of those things. If things don't turn around in that division, you could see some of these guys end up on the trade block. But Brandon Hyde is out in Baltimore. Also, Jose Alvarado, Phillies reliever, has been suspended for 80 games for PEDs. The Alvarado was also a good start this year, 2.7 ERA in 20 games. 7 saves on the year. He was their closer. He's overall been a solid reliever throughout his career. Been with the Phillies since 2021. Overall in his career, 400 career games with 3.4 career ERA, 52 career saves. This is his first full-time closer gig for the most part. I don't understand these dudes. How do you guys not know by now what is allowed, what's not? And I love how they was like, oh, I disagree, but I respect the league's decision. It's just like, dude, you know what you did? You physically put it into your body. Like, they always say, oh, it was prescribed me by a doctor. It was for testosterone. It was for fertility or something stupid. I don't understand. Like, how these guys are stupid. And so he's suspended for 80 games. The Phillies have, prior to him being suspended, played, 45? So he'll be back for the last maybe 30 or so games of the season. And he's also ineligible for the playoffs. So you'll get him probably maybe like the end of later August for the stretch run, and he won't even have the playoffs. So, and the Phillies bullpen was already young. We're already saying they got to go and get some bullpen out at the trade deadline, and now they lose their closers. Now they're even more in a deep fit with their bullpen. So Jose Alvarado gets suspended. The rest of the divisions look like this. American League Central, Detroit Tigers are rolling, 31-16, best record in all of baseball. We knew their pitching would be good. Trick Skubal obviously is a elite level pitcher, but behind him they've gotten some nice contributions from Casey Mize, Jackson Jobe, and that offense has really been good. Javier Baez hitting 300. Who would have saw that coming? That guy has been good in years. Minnesota Twins, 26-21. They've had a 13-game win streak to snap. They've caught fire after a tough start to the year. As a team, if they can stay healthy, they have a solid squad. If Correa and Byron Buxton, if they can all stay healthy, they have some solid pitching. With Joe Ryan in their rotation, that's a solid baseball team. They were almost in the playoffs last year, even with injuries. So they're off to a good. They're playing some good baseball. Guardians 25-21. Kansas City Royals 26-22. I thought that'd be a little better. That division's pretty competitive. And the White Sox at 14-33. I think we all saw them being very bad. Their roster, you lose 121 games and you said, let's trade one of the league's best starting pitchers. That's usually a recipe for getting worse, and they are the worst team ever last year. I guess they cannot literally be any worse. However, they're putting that theory to the test because they are very bad. 14-33. American League West, Seattle Mariners playing pretty good baseball, 26-19. Feel like the first 2 months are always really good and they fall off, but playing good right now. Astros 24-22. I think some regression was expected. You trade away Kyle Tucker, who was one of the best outfielders in baseball, to the Cubs. In a separate trade, you send out your closer Ryan Presley or your setup guy Ryan Presley as well. So obviously you also lose Alex Bregman for agency. So some regression was probably in the cards. This is a team that once had a dynasty and they lose in the first round last year. They've been kind of declining already. Texas Rangers 25-23. They have not been as good as I thought. I thought they'll be better. However, I am very happy for Jacob deGrom. He's been pitching his ass off. He's one of the league's best stars. He's been healthy this year so far, so good for him. The A's 27-25 22-25 have lost 5 in a row, but overall haven't been as bad as I thought. And the Angels are 20-25, not very good. National League, Mets continue to play good baseball. 29-18, top of the best record in the National League, and second best in all baseball. That pitching's been really, really good, even with the injuries. Phillies 28-18. They're playing well right now, although they're going to need some help in that bullpen with their closer Alvarado suspended for 80 games, and we'll have him for the playoffs. Braves 24-23. Now they've been pretty mediocre. Nationals 21-27. I thought that'd be a little better, although they are in a tough division. The team is still really young. Although the I've seen from James Woods, as well as Mackenzie Gore out of the rotation. Miami Marlins 18-27. They're bad. We all expected that. They have no hitting. Cubs 28-19 are rolling, playing some good baseball. St. Louis Cardinals went on a big win streak. They're now 26-21. Reds are at 524-24. But to me, outside of Abu de la Cruz, there's nothing a whole lot going there. He's insane. Hunter Green is really entertaining. Great starting pitcher, really good young pitcher. Can hit 100 miles an hour. If ease. And, Will Benson's hot. He's got 5 homers the last 4 games. Other than that, not a whole lot going on for the Reds. Brewers 22-25 are not playing very well. Not a whole lot going on in Milwaukee. And the Pirates are 15-32. They are just a complete joke. National League West, Dodgers 29-18. I thought they'd be a little more dominant. It's still a long season. However, they just got Clayton Kershaw, and the league's best starting pitchers, back, and Ohtani's going to pitch at some point this year as well. So, but still obviously playing great baseball, top of the best record in the National League. Padres 27-18, they've been really good this year as well. San Francisco Giants 20-19, they've been really good this year. They had some injuries last year, guys like Jung Ho Lee have been healthy, that's definitely helped them. Arizona was 25-22. That's a really good ball club. However, they're just in an insanely good division. And the Colorado Rockies are 8-38. The Rockies have 8 wins. It is May 19th. Of course, just fired their manager. They're bad. No way to say it. They are bad. Like, really bad. I can name probably 4 players on the team. They are really, really bad. They can't pitch. That's nothing new, but they are bad. Very, very, very bad. All right, so first of all, congratulations to Scottie Scheffler. He wins his 3rd major. He wins a PGA championship. Dominating last day for him. That guy is by far the best player in the world. He's approaching Tiger Woods territory when it comes to his domination, so congratulations to him. He wins the PGA championship. Now, let's finish off with continuing with my NBA offseason preview series. First team up today, staying in the Western Conference like I've been doing the last couple of times, the Memphis Grizzlies. So Memphis, a couple years ago, looked really promising, and then all of a sudden, just all of a sudden they've kind of fallen off. They haven't now get up the second round, losing the first round last year. You fired Taylor Jenkins, the former Coach of the Year candidate, right before the playoffs for no really apparent reason, and you just get absolutely clotheslined in 4 games by the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round. You lost game 1 by 51 points. We're done almost 60 at one point. Now what do you do? So your free agents are Marvin Bagley, Luke Kennard, Cynthia Aldama is restricted. Lamar Stevens is also unrestricted. You have money to spend. You're $7 million clear of a second apron. They have needed a legit number 2 next to job basically forever. They have some other players I like. Desmond Bane's only 26. He's a very good shooter, but that's about all he brings. Jaren Jackson is a great defender, one of the league's best defenders, defensive player of the year, former defensive player of the year winner, but not a great outside shooter. Offensive game is a little bit limited, though. Again, only 25. 88 wasn't bad as a rookie. He's obviously 7'3", 4. He's a good rim protector, can block shots. To me, he's a rich man's Mitchell Robinson. I don't see him ever being much more than that. And then, other than that, isn't a whole lot else there. You got Brandon Clark. He's a fine role player on the bench. That's really about it. Conchar isn't a bad outside shooter coming off the bench. He's 28 years old, so the team is still young. But there isn't a whole lot there to me. Like, I do think they should bring Santi Aldama. He's still only 24. He's a solid big to have on your bench. G.D. Jackson's still really young. He was like a 13 mil rookie guy last year. I got a chance to play last year when they had all their injuries and played pretty well. Averaged 40 points a game last year. Still young. Fine role player, but to me, outside jobs, what is up? Okay, so thank you, Ashton. Super Bowl winning coach Nick Sirianni has agreed to a multi-year extension, so he'll be in Philadelphia for the future. He's a solid coach to me. Not a great coach, but a solid coach. I mean, he has a Super Bowl ring, and he used it. And before that, 2 years prior, was in the Super Bowl, but lost. So, he's doing something right. He wins a lot of games, which is, he does what he needs to do to win games. That's really all you need to do. So, he is now been extended by the Eagles. And they also brought back Joe Douglas, who, former Jets GM, who was fired. Could have done better in New York, but did a good job in Philly as an assistant. He's back, I think, as a senior scout, which I think is the role that he fits better. And he's back in Philadelphia where it all started for him. So, good for him. But back to the Memphis Grizzlies. They need to get a legit number 2 for Ja, or they should just trade him at this point. Like, well, I don't know why they fired freaking Taylor Jenkins. The guy got a coach. Who that's going to be? I don't know. I mean, the first call should be probably Mike Budenholzer. To me, he's the best coach on the market. I don't know if he'll take the job, but it can't hurt to give him a phone call. And but they need to get, whether it's looking at what they have, Bane will be the 2 guard next year. You have Jaren Jackson as your 4. They need a wing badly, like a legit, really good wing. Brendan Ingram would have been a nice pickup if they could trade for him. Obviously, he was extended by Toronto after the trade, so that's no longer a course of action, most likely. Not exactly sure who they could go out and get, but if they can get like a Zach LaVine, if the Kings make him available, I would jump on that. He's a little bit injury prone. And he's a little bit overpaid, but he is a very good player. But if they can get him, that would be nice. They gotta get a legit wing. Otherwise, you should trade John Morant. Like, yeah, he's got 4 years left on his deal, but you're not that close to winning a championship to me. You haven't had a second round with this squad. You haven't won more than one game in the second round. One time you did, you lost in 5 to Golden State. And just I don't really see him. I mean, I don't know if he'll stick around much longer. Also, John Morant, great player, but he's always hurt. Obviously, he's had his off-the-court issues. He quieted them for now, though. He's had some really just extravagant celebrations to the point where the NBA was like, dude, you need to stop. So that guy is athletic as he gets at the point guard spot, and he's really good. So 25 years old. And the guy got a legit number 2 because there really isn't a whole lot of there. And the last thing I'm going to do today is the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors losing the conference semis this year. Of course, they beat the Rockets in 7, but then Stephen Curry gets hurt in the second round series against the Timberwolves. He gets hurt in game 1. They win that game, but then don't win it again the rest of the series. Look, Stephen Curry, 36, but he is still an amazing player. One of the greatest players ever. Still a great player, however. He is 36. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Jimmy Butler. Very good player. I do not think he's a 1 anymore. You saw him in the playoffs. Was not able to uplift that Warriors team like he did with the teams in Miami. I think he's a second option. He's still a really good player. Great defender. He's a good scorer. Can make an occasional 3-point shot. Draymond Green, who is a complete asshole, but still a very good defender. Butler's he signed a 2-year extension when they did the trade, and then Green has another year plus a player option. Their free agents are Gary Payton II, Kevon Looney. Kuminga is restricted. Those are the free agents. When it comes to what they have for money, they have a little bit. They're 36, almost 37 million dollars per second agent, so they do have a little bit of money to spend. They could probably bring in maybe 1.5 impact players, I would say. I would bring back Jonathan Kuminga. I think he's a very good player. When he gets playing time, he's been pretty productive for them. He's still 22 years old. I would bring him back. I know they might be working on a trade, but I'd bring him back. They have his rights as a restricted free agent. I'd bring him back, but they didn't need a legit third option. I'm not sure if that's Kuminga. I like Buddy Hield. He's a really good 3-point shooter, but he's a role player. Moses Moody's still 22, so maybe not a role player to have. I like Brandon Podziemski. He's still 21. He's a very good player. But they need to get a legit third option here. I think they are a piece away from truly being a championship team. Also, their window is 2 years. Stephen Curry, 36. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Butler, at 35. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Draymond Green has a year left plus a player option. He's 34. Gary Payton II, even if he comes back, is the guy who was on their last title team. He's 32. Buddy Hield's got has got just next year and then a non-guaranteed year after that before he'll be opting out in 2028. He's 32 years old. Even if Kevon Looney comes back, he's 28. Only young piece you have is Podziemski, Moses Moody, and if Jonathan Kuminga is on the team next year. So they got it. If they want to get one more championship out of this core with Stephen Curry and company, they need to do it in the next probably 2 years. Which is why they got to go out and get a legit third option. Not sure who that would be. I think they should also try and re-sign Kevon Looney. Probably prioritize him over Gary Payton. I'm not sure if they can afford to bring back Looney and Kuminga, but they should try. Kevon Looney is a great rebounder. Again, not going to score a whole lot, but he's one of the league's best rebounders, really good rim protector. I would bring him back for sure. And then Gary Payton is probably going to leave, and I would try and work something out with Kuminga. If you're going to trade him, at least get something good back for him. Maybe get some draft capital back. Maybe get a piece that can help you. Get yourself a legit wing that can help you. But they got to get a legit third option next to Stephen Curry or Jimmy Butler because they got to get a championship in the next 2 years. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough spot because it's a very, very good team, but also a very, very old team. That's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long, and have a great day.